6 championship matches and a grudge match that's had one hell of a build inside a packed stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Let's talk about what could possibly happen, shall we? I'm John Renton with my WWE SummerSlam 2024 predictions. Let me know your predictions in the comments, please. And first things first, I will not be reviewing this show live because I'm going to be having to work a back-to-back this Saturday into Sunday, basically. I'm just going to have a brief break in between shifts. I will try to review the show after I'm off Saturday, but if I'm too tired, basically, if I'm a goddamn bicycle, then I will have to wait until I'm off on Sunday. That being said, you will get a review at some point, and honestly, even though I do love live tweeting and interacting with everybody on the socials, as the kids don't say, because I don't really think kids say on the socials, honestly, that sweet, sweet dollar, that sweet paycheck is just a lot more important, and it is what it is. That being said, there are a couple matches I'm looking forward to, and yeah, if anything else gets added within the next couple days, because I'm recording this right after my Raw review, excuse me for not having the clairvoyance to see into the future, because I gotta stop you from killing my race in the future. We already did that. I know you do that! So yeah, let's just get to it now. So, CM Punk, and Drew McIntyre with Seth Freaking Rollins. That really doesn't work at all, and it's a grudge match. I'm getting shades of SummerSlam 97 without a championship, even though championship implications could be sprinkled throughout this whole thing because you could go a number of different directions, but I think Drew is going to demolish Punk. I think that's what's going to happen, because I think you're going to end up with something where we're going to pivot to Punk and Rollins, because maybe Rollins is going to have to stop the goddamn match because Punk has had such a long layoff, and Drew is going to be heated up to do something, and then you could go back to Punk and Drew at Bad Blood, shall we say. You can mix this and you can go a number of different directions, and maybe Drew won't destroy him, but I have a feeling that Drew McIntyre is going to walk out victorious, and then you can go with Punk and Rollins and just mix those feuds in, and you could have something that's just a nice, creme brulee of something. I don't know what the hell I'm on about. So let's get to Sami Zayn versus the Braun Rick Steiner IC title matches. Steiner doesn't win here. I'm not saying stick a fork in him, but Sami does not need to walk out as champion. He's done fine as champion. I was shocked that he walked out retaining after Money in the Bank, but whatever. Steiner's got to win here, though. Give him the title unless you're really going to go with something, and maybe, move him to SmackDown and have him win the U.S. title or something. Unless you're really going to do something big with him, you need to give him a championship, and him winning the Intercontinental title would be a nice moment. You could have him carry that until goddamn WrestleMania, because he needs something. Sami is as over as he's going to be, and they're going to pivot and have Sami join Jay, and they're going to heat this thing up with the Bloodline, because I think that Sami and Jay are going to be part of War Games at Survivor Series. Provided, of course, they do War Games there. So, Steiner walks out as champion, and then we have Logan Paul against LA Knight, U.S. Championship. Look, despite how I feel about Logan Paul being a piece of shit that did that bullshit in that Japanese force and the crypto scamming and all the stuff that he's done, besides that, he has taken to this whole thing like a fish to water. He has also defended the championship 2 times, and if people were going to knock Brock, Roman, various others for being part-time champions, if he had defended the title 6 to 8 times, like once on television, and then sprinkled throughout a few pay-per-views, that's what they are. They're not PLEs. That's stupid. That just sounds stupid. If you want to call them that, that's fine, but it sounds stupid to me. If Logan had defended the championship a little bit more, and if they weren't just about, ready to pop the bubble on LA Knight with a loss here, I wouldn't mind Logan actually retaining. But if Logan retains, that's about it for LA Knight. LA Knight has to walk out as champion here, and even if he only has it for a few months and loses it in November, you gave him something. You gave the fans some kind of payoff. Because LA Knight has to get the victory here. He has to. Logan doesn't need the championship anymore. He didn't need the championship at first, but after beating Ray, he's only defended it twice. I'm sorry. It is time for LA Knight, to get the victory. So then we go to Liv Morgan against Rhea Bloody Ripley for the WWE Women's World Championship. And you could have Rhea win here. You could do that. They're not going to do that. I think honestly, you could have Tiffany run over to Raw. And you could have her cash in if you really wanted to. Because I think Liv and Rhea doesn't actually need a championship. And I think you could build that up to a Hell in a Cell match. And Liv has done well for herself here. And there's somebody that's going to factor into the finish on this whole thing. Based solely on what's been happening even before Rhea returned. Once Rhea returned, it was even more cemented. Dominic is going to inadvertently cost Rhea the match. And then he's going to try to go with Liv. Liv's going to push him out. And Dominic's going to be left on an island. And Judgment Day is going to go away for all long. Did that make any sense? No, it did not make any sense. Maybe Dominic will end up being part of Judgment Day. But I think Dominic's going to end up being banned from that whole thing. And he's just going to be on his own. Going down the only mullet road he's ever known. Because if Liv retains, she will have gotten every bit of revenge that she needed. She doesn't need Dominic anymore. And Dominic has proven to shoot himself in the foot like he's Plexico goddamn Burris. But Liv is going to win. Dominic is going to cost Rhea. Maybe he actually intentionally costs her the match. And then Liv does it big. I think Liv's just going to instantly, if she doesn't do it at SummerSlam, she's going to do it on Raw. And then Dominic's really going to be hurt. Because he's an idiot. But Liv will get her ultimate revenge. And Rhea's going to be still just as over. Even if she hadn't gotten injured, she had the championship more than long enough. Even if she could have defended it a few more times and it probably would have made more sense, she still had a lengthy title reign. Let Liv have it until Hell in a Cell, if they decide to do one, and then you can go with, and then you can maybe, have Rhea win it back. But then that way Liv has a long run. So we then get Bayley against Nia Jax for the WWE Women's Championship. If Bayley doesn't win, they might as well just stick a fork in the women's division. And Tiffany could cash in. As long as Nia Jax does not walk out as champion. I prefer she didn't walk out at all. I prefer she had to be carried out like Yokozuna on that forklift. But I want Bayley to retain. This is one match I don't know if I'm going to watch because I just can't stomach anything Nia does unless she's basically, being laid out and having words spoken over her. But Bayley needs to at least beat Nia. And then if Tiffany cashes in, fine. It is what it is. Damian Priest against Gunther for the secondary world championship. Gunther has to win. It's something against Priest. He'll be kicked out of Judgment Day, or he'll leave Judgment Day on his own, and they'll attack him. And then they'll build this up for Bash in Berlin, or whatever the next show is. But Gunther has to win. There's going to be a lot of title changes here, because there has to be a lot of title changes. And if Gunther doesn't win, then it's totally pointless. So now we get to Cody versus Solo Sikoa for the undisputed WWE Championship. I think Owens, Orton, and various members of the Bloodline, possibly Rikishi. I think we're going to get everybody running down there. They are going to roll everybody out to basically interfere in this whole thing. It's going to be gang warfare. Cody's going to win, and Cody's going to either win and then Roman's going to show up, or Roman's going to show up, which is going to cost Solo, and then Cody's going to win. And I think then you could still build it. You could have Cody on the side of the Bloodline, because you still have Hikuleo. Hikuleo could show up. But the thing is, though, if Hikuleo shows up at SummerSlam, that's kind of a pointless way to have him show up if Solo doesn't win. So I would think you would have to have Hikuleo show up the next SmackDown after SummerSlam. Not this one. And Hikuleo still got a little bit of kinks you got to work out. And hopefully Tangaloa's okay, because he took a header and he definitely had a fucking concussion. Like, it looked really bad at Money in the Bank. So hopefully he's all right. But I think Hikuleo's going to get involved. And but not until after SummerSlam. Roman's going to show up. And if Roman doesn't show up and Cody just wins and they build up for Roman showing up on the following SmackDown, fine. That's fine. Because he's still grieving his father. And I can only imagine what he's going through. And I feel bad for him. But I think Roman's going to show up. And they're going to build this and kick it off. Because then they have a few months to build to Survivor Series. Cody's going to retain, though. Because God forbid if they give the title to Solo. I'll be like, really? It's like giving Black Bart the goddamn, America's championship in world class. Anyway, that being said, let me know your thoughts and your predictions in the comments. Please like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.